So this person is confused. Okay. Let me explain what we are doing. As I try really, really hard to explain, but it's God. I told you it's God, okay? God of the Bible, okay? It's God of the Bible. Okay, so earlier I was doing random picks from the Bible. I thought everybody understood that it was God and that we had proven that God talked when we opened the Bible randomly. I thought we had proven that. And I moved on and I said, hey, we can get better results if we pick from 30 books. Okay, obviously. But at this point, the person had a crisis and their brain short-circuited, and suddenly, even though we proved that God talked when we opened the Bible randomly, the nigger had a crisis and he just shit himself, and now he's back. It's like you try to teach them algebra and suddenly they forget the previous step, like the previous lesson. It's like, no, okay, look. I explained it very carefully. So if you look on here, we were picking from the Bible. Now we just picked from, we did pick from the Bible. On this one, I picked from there's 30 books. I use a random number to open up a spot in 30 books, okay? Okay, start with, okay, you know, sometimes if you can point where you're going with the discussion, then you can help somebody understand. I already told you it's God, okay? So when I'm leading up in this discussion, we are going to the conclusion that it is God, okay? So I told you it's God. We are leading up to prove that it is God, okay? That's the direction we're headed, okay? So when we pick from random books, don't get the impression I'm going to throw artificial intelligence at you. No, it's God, okay? Okay, let's just pretend you had 30 books on your bookshelf. What if you numbered them from 0 to 1,000,000 pages? Let's say you just collected all the pages, and then you rolled some dice and you got a page number, okay? That's what we're doing, okay? We have 30 books. We counted all the books, how many pages, and then we roll some dice and we get a random page, okay? That's what we're doing. And if it talks, well, if something random talks, then it must be God controlling it, okay? That's what I'm trying to explain this. I thought it was obvious, but even after I explained this many times, people still just Their brain short circuits. They can't. Their brain cannot handle it. They start. Did you know that? Okay, so this is the random number. We're not rolling dice. We're using ping pong balls inside of a piece of hardware. Now, if God can control rolling dice, then the dice are a SETI antenna. If God can control when you roll dice, then the dice are a SETI antenna. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? The dice are a SETI antenna if God can control the dice. Does that make sense? Why is that hard to understand? Okay, Tor. Okay. So, here's the state lottery website. Somebody thinks Tor has something to do with. If I go to the state lottery website and I get some numbers, and if I post, okay, let's just play a little game here. I'm gonna go to this site. I'm gonna copy paste some numbers onto my clipboard. Now I'm gonna go into my blog, and I'm going to paste some lottery numbers, and then let's go to line number 06213 in the Bible. Control G. 06213. Okay, now if you look at what we just did, okay, how could we mess this up with Tor? Okay, how could we mess this up with Tor? Well, maybe I went to the lottery website with Tor and I got the numbers using a Tor link, okay? If I use Tor to access the state lottery website to get my numbers, you know, the nigger brain just short circuits spastically all kinds of different ways, and suddenly it makes all kinds of crazy, illogical fucking Tor. You Tored it! I just went to get the lottery number. You used Tor. What? How would Tor... I don't even understand. How does Tor have anything to do with getting a lottery number? I don't understand. You can go to the website, or you can use Tor if you like. If you want to use Tor to go to the lottery website to check the number, if that makes you happy, I don't know. What are you trying to say? Okay, the lottery website has some numbers. I used Tor. Okay. I went to the lottery website with Tor. Bred to be, this day came out the month Abib. And it shall be when the Lord hath bring thee into the land of Canaanites and Hittites and Amorites and Hivites and Jebusites, that he sware unto thy father to give you a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month. 7 days shall thou eat unleavened bread, and in the seventh day shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leaven be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. And thou shalt shew thy son in that day, saying, This is done because of that which the Lord did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be a sign unto thee in thy hand, for a memorial between thy eyes, and the Lord's law may be in thy mouth. For with a strong hand hath the Lord brought thee out of Egypt, and thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. I think they're talking about a hard-on. So, you know, it's kind of funny. You know, in a way, it's funny. This is hilarious. In the end, the more bad stuff you do, the more it benefits me. Okay, this is delightful. This is hilarious. Do you know why the Jews got holocausted? Do you have any clue? It's because they were so fucking evil. They were terribly evil. How evil do you have to be to get holocausted? Oh my God, they must have been really fucking evil. Okay, so this is hilarious. I think it's fucking hilarious. If you get so ugly in the eyes of God that he holocausts you, oh my God, you must be fucking troll. You must be a real ogre. That's what happens. These people, they don't understand. They don't understand how ugly they are. You are one dumb, ugly son of a bitch, man. You're about to get holocausted. Whatever you are, you're about to get holocausted. You're a fucking dumb fucking son of a ugly bitch. You are one dumb, ugly son of a bitch. That's what happens. If God hates you, he holocausts you. What do you think the Jews did? Do you think the Jews did scam? Do you think this is like a Jew? This is like a Jew. We all know what Jews do, okay? We all know. The Jews start talking about marijuana on my chat room to drive people away. That's what a Jew will do, because a Jew is a disgusting fuck. Okay, that's why you can tell God is perfectly just, and they were so vile that God holocausted them. I can laugh at this ugly. Goddamn, this is one ugly fucker. God says, son of a bitch, that guy is ugly. What do you think happens if you are hated and despised by God? I don't think you have a good life. You have that to look forward to. Hillary, oh my God. You know, Machiavelli is hilarious. That's exactly the wrong strategy. Machiavelli is hilarious. It gives the opposite to the best strategy. The best strategy is to be loved by God. Machiavelli is the opposite strategy. It's hilarious. They made absolute fools of the intellectuals. You see, God has to do justice. He has to. That's why over and over God has to topple the heads have to become the tails and the tails have to become the heads. That's what justice is all about. Why do you think it happens so often? That it's what has to happen. God has to take the low and put them on high and the high and put them on low. He has to make the arrogant intellectuals into fools. That's what God likes to do. He likes to make them into absolute fools. God loves Beverly Hillbillies. That's because topsy-turvy is inherent in a system of justice, okay? God, in order for God to do justice, he must humiliate the arrogant over and over. That's how justice works. You have to do it that way. There's no other way to do justice.
When we go low, we go high. Michelle Obama made that phrase famous when she spoke it on the campaign trail for Democrats. She was referring to negative ads and mudslinging campaigns, essentially saying we're better than that in how they conduct themselves. While Barack and Hillary never seemed to heed these words, apparently Vladimir Putin did. After major news stories broke that President Obama was imposing sanctions on Russia and ordered the expulsion of 35 Russian operatives from the U.S., Putin just responded back in a major way. Although we have the right to retaliate, we will not resort to irresponsible kitchen diplomacy, but will plan our further steps to restore Russian-U.S. relations based on the policies of the Trump administration, Putin said in a statement. Putin went on to one-up Obama by saying we will not expel anyone. We will not prevent their families and children from using their traditional leisure sites during the New Year's holidays. Moreover, I invite all children of U.S. diplomats accredited in Russia to the New Year and Christmas children's parties in the Kremlin. If ever there was a situation that backfired on a global scale, this is it. Russia has essentially labeled Obama as irrelevant and is patiently waiting for Trump to take over the White House. Trump and Russia have already expressed a willingness to coexist peacefully. Trump has brushed off allegations that Russia interfered in the U.S. election, saying it's time for our country to move on to bigger and better things. However, after Obama's actions yesterday, Trump said he will keep an open mind. In the interest of our country and its great people, I will meet with leaders of the intelligence community next week in order to be updated on the facts of this situation, he said. In the interest of our country and its great people, I will meet with leaders of the intelligence community next week in order to be updated on the facts of this situation, he said.
You know, Cain and Abel is a funny story. He killed them out of jealousy over God's affection. A world where people fight for God's affection sounds like a better place. Oh, I'm getting a Bible passage. Thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and hast increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thy ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unsatiable. Yea, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet could not be satisfied. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornications in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou wast not satisfied therewith. How weak is thy heart, saith the Lord God, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious whorish woman, in that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way.
module arrived this evening, Monday, at the Prime Minister's residence on Balfour Street in Jerusalem to investigate allegations of graft against Netanyahu. Netanyahu will be questioned under caution on suspicion of accepting favors from foreign businessmen. Police will seek to clarify the allegations with the Prime Minister, and it is estimated that more sessions will be needed to examine the materials in their possession. Netanyahu referred earlier to the inquiry on the issue during the Likud Knesset faction meeting. We see and hear the festive spirit in the television studios and in the corridors of the opposition. I want to tell them to put the festivities on hold. Do not rush. I told you and I repeat, there will be nothing because there is nothing. You continue blowing hot air balloons and we will continue to lead the state of Israel, said the Prime Minister.
Investigators.
Solomon wrote 1,005 hymns.
And Benjamin said, The beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, for the deep of coucheth beneath, for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon, for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horn are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together in the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000 of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, Zebulun, in thy going out in.
Puppy. That's where it'll be. Hello? Hello? Hello?
teaching throughout all Jewry, beginning from Galilee to this place. When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked whether the man were a Galilean, and as soon as he knew he belonged to Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself was also at Jerusalem at the time. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceedingly glad, for he was desirous to see him of a long season, because he had heard many things of him, and hoped to have seen some miracle done by him. Then he questioned with him many words, but he answered him nothing. And the chief priests and scribes stood and vehemently accused him, and Herod with his men of war set him at naught and mocked him. but they could not but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. And when the magician said unto Pharaoh, This is the finger of God, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he come forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayst know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. And I will put a division between my people and thy people.
Tonight's big story, was it self-defense? A maintenance man pulls a gun and kills two teenagers. Who's in for it? Daniel Gasky assesses the situation. The firefighter is about to become a crime fighter. He's got a fixed-blade knife. He doesn't have a gun. If he didn't have it in his hand, he has a knife right now. I'm like, he's focused on a lady. I can control this. I just launched on his back, put my arm around his head, around his neck, and just rotated and kind of tossed him onto the ground and landed on top of him to just stun him. And once I got on the ground, I was on top of him. I was able to get the knife away and kind of threw it out of his reach and went and focused more on just controlling him. The robber didn't know Gasky wrestled in high school and served 8 years as a Marine. The relieved clerk calls 911. She was very grateful. I mean, I think she was obviously very happy that I was there. You don't do this for fame or fortune or anything like that. You know, it's the right thing to do. And that's a reward in itself, is the fact that you were able to help someone out.
eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. If so be that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. Now he that hath wrought us for the selfsame thing is God, who has also given us into the earnest of the Spirit. Therefore we are always confident, knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight. For we are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Wherefore we labor, that whether present or absent we may be accepted of him. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Better is the poor that walketh in uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shameth his father. He that by usury and unjust gaineth increase his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination.
I'm the smartest programmer on earth. They accuse just bizarre shit. They think I have uninitialized table because they don't see where it gets initialized. It's like, come, you know it fucking works. They keep saying it doesn't work. I go, it does work. What are you talking about? you're being ridiculous. Like for 10 years they say it's impossible, it can't boot. Dude. Why do you know, it's funny, someone said in math it's hard to argue with the counterexample. I didn't tell that joke correctly, but like if you're in an argument, if someone has a counterexample, that's the end. Like if you're an atheist and God talks, that's pretty much the end. You can't really do anything. It's hard to argue with the counterexample. If you say there is no God and God talks, it's hard to argue with the counterexample. Okay, let's do a miracle. I guess let's do a Moses comic or something. Doesn't sound like fun. I have time travel. Are you being a or what, man? You gonna fight with time travel? You don't comprehend that God killed all threats. No, I don't want to go kill Hitler. I have time travel. It's trivial. Watch this. Let's do some time travel. Okay, we're gonna go to oh well, we'll go for the You can't fight with time travel. You're outclassed. You're like, you silly little. The silly wants to dance with time travel. Dude, man, this battle was over before it started. We know who wins, okay? We know who wins. We have absolute certainty who wins. Do you actually think God's third temple would get destroyed when he's working on it? He designed his third temple. We know who wins. We know how the story ends. God designed the third temple. Of course it's money in the bank. It's guaranteed. God, this battle was over before it started. Literally. He killed the ancestors of anybody who was a threat. There is no threat. God killed them. You can't fight against time travel, you silly. Whatever she may have contracted in so many years since the water of salvation, forgive her, Lord, forgive, I beseech thee. Enter not into judgment with her. Let thy mercy be exalted over thy justice, since thy words are true, and thou hast promised mercy unto the merciful, which thou givest them to be. Who wilt have mercy on whom thou wilt have mercy, and wilt have compassion on whom thou wilt have compassion. And I believe thou hast already done what I ask. But accept, O Lord, the freewill offerings. Still doesn't know it's God. He's like, what an idiot. Dude, do you know what a random number is? You fucking... God damn, that is one stupid fucking... What? How can... Why is somebody fighting against God? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, there's something wrong. Who fights against God? That's just stupid. What? That doesn't make any sense. Does,
What if he could carry a gun on you? So hidden, it was like the footsteps of a Navy SEAL. Millions of
thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord, and the priest shall take holy water, an earthen vessel, and take the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle. The priest shall put her into the water, and the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, uncover the woman's head, put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering, and the priest shall have his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse. The priest shall charge her by an oath, saying unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causeth the curse. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thy husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing, and the priest shall say unto the woman, the Lord make thee accursed and an oath among thy people, when the Lord doth make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell, and this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy.
Hey, you can't swear, Mr. God. Okay, what do you want to do, Mr. God? I'll do a poem. there's my point. I'm gonna get a miracle. A really good. I'm gonna get an awesome miracle. I bet Diana can't write as good a poem. I think she can do a better miracle. They're dragged because by them their portion is fat, their meat plenteous. Shall they therefore empty their net, and not spare continually to slay the nations? I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as is. I didn't write that one. For the froward is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. Hear ye, children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. don't want to get a copyright violation. I'm nervous about that. Can't read shit. That's weird. It looks like it got aborted. That's what it was at midnight.
Well, I guess we have to write some poems. I guess that's what we have to do. Write more poems. Write poems all day long. You know, my poems don't do very well. My comics do better. Comics are better. Okay, God, this is going to get a lot better miracle. The poems, God doesn't like the poems. This is going to get a glorious. God hates the poems. God likes the Moses comics. God doesn't even like my songs. God likes the Moses comics. God doesn't like my songs. Just the Moses comics.
has one last chance to force his pick for the Supreme Court, Merrick Garland, onto the highest court in the land. Obama will have a 5-minute window known as intercession recess where he can force the move. From the Washington Times. President Obama will have one last chance to force Judge Merrick Garland onto the U.S. Supreme Court on Tuesday, but it's a legal gamble and one that has so many pitfalls that even those who say he could get away with it believe it isn't worth the fight. Mr. Obama's moment will come just before noon, in the 5 minutes that the Senate gathers the 114th Congress out of session and the time the 115th Congress begins. In those few moments, the Senate will go into what's known as an intercession recess, creating one golden moment when the President could test his recess appointment powers by sending Judge Garland to the High Court. The liberal New Republic believes that Obama should put Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court during this intercession recess, although they state, based on everything we know about Obama's temperament and politics, he won't resort to this. Most conservatives would say that based on everything we know about it.
You want a 5-minute window? God likes my Moses comics. This will get a good response. King Solomon built Milo and repaired the breaches of the city of David his father. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. And it came to pass that at the time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, the prophet Ahijah the Silonite found him in the way and had him clad with a new garment. And the two were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, Take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, Behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. But ye shall have 1 tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, for the city which I have chosen out of all tribes of Israel, because that they have forsaken me, and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonites, Chemosh, and the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways, to do that which is right in mine.
Obama has one last chance to force his pick for the Supreme Court, Merrick Garland, onto the highest court in the land.
Okay, I have to do Moses coming. I'm getting burnt out. What are you gonna do? Hello? I can't put that. I'm not gonna put that. Oh well, let's just see what happens.
Medicare tax that is based on their income.
Consume them in wrath, consume them that they may not be, and let them know that God ruleth in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. And at evening let them return, and let them make a noise like a dog, and go round about the city. Let them wander up and down for meat, grudge if they be not satisfied. But I will sing of thy power, yea, I will sing aloud of thy mercy in the morning, for thou hast been my defense and my refuge in the day of my trouble. Unto thee, O God, I will sing, for God is my defense, and God
and the God of my mercy. Okay. I saw that. I don't want to get a copyright strike. Okay, I'm gonna stop.